Any additions to the agenda?
I actually
Mr.
have
Chair?
one.
Okay, go ahead, Amanda.
It's just a request for a trailer on a piece of property. I can explain it in my report though.
Okay. Okay, was Jason gonna join us tonight?
Yeah, I just texted him and he thought he was signed in, but I said no, so he's gonna try
You get
again.
it?
Okay. You had something, Larry?
Yeah, I'm not sure, Amanda, if the public are able to access. Is there a problem?
Sorry, it's on mute. They should be able to click on the link on the website. We might just be delayed by a minute or two.
Should be able to.
Okay, if I may, under our new section there, I would add just some discussions on Woods Road, if I may. I'll maybe do that under Mike's report as well. Okay, okay, with those discussions, could I have the approval of the agenda, please? Carrie, Amy, all in favor? Carried. Declaration of peculiar interest or the general nature thereof. Seeing none. Adoption of the minutes of the May 20th, 2020 minutes. Larry, Amy, all in favor? Carried. Statutory public meetings, none. Planning matters, none. Delegations, none. Staff reports. Clerk planning, Amanda, go ahead.
So the first part of my report is a motion to transfer to full producer responsibility for recycling. I just needed a little bit of help from council. They're asking why we've made the decision to participate in the full producer responsibility, which I think is kind of mandatory, but they were asking if we had a contract that ended, and I cannot find a contract anywhere. So I just didn't really know what to say as to why we want to go full producer responsibility.
Larry, would you have a response to that?
So are you looking to, Mr. Chair?
Yes.
So you are looking for reasons why we want to go 2025?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, the reason that came about at the last board meeting with the Quinte Waste people is that Belleville and Trenton presently have a contract with, what do you call it, a composting. And they have a contract that extends them in, I think, 2024, 2025. We talked about going early, 2023. Actually, they asked me, I was the first one that they asked why, where, what, when we might want to go. In my estimation, I don't believe you want to go early because you don't want to get caught up in all the crap. If you go in 2023, nothing's been settled. There's going to be all kinds of problems, and there will be problems. We don't want to be part of that. If you go in 2025, you might miss out on some things that you could have got. So I suggested 2024. We all agreed on 2024 until the manager from Quinte Waste and Belleville and Trenton talked to us, and they convinced us to go 2025 because of these two contracts. So basically, the whole board decided as one that we would go together. at 2025, and it's basically because of this contract. And we also are gonna have to have a new contract that we're probably gonna, Quinny Waste is gonna have a contract with our recycle people, HGC, which is up next year. We gotta renew it with them or somebody else. So we're gonna be in a contract that takes us in probably to, and we need to understand that we're gonna probably go to 2025 with this contract. It'll be when we go produce into this producer, whatever. So there's some of the reasons. Basically, it's because we all are going together. That's what I would suggest. I don't know what the rest of the council wants to do, but I would suggest we all go together as Quinny Waste moves forward and work with our neighboring municipalities at a 2025 date. If they're looking for reasons, basically, I would say we're just working with our neighbors, and we've all decided that we would all go together to make this our date for this producer move.
Okay,
There's no other reasons really, other than you could say we want to go in 2023, but you won't be going with Quinny Waste if you do that because they're going in 2025. So, up to council.
Okay, thanks, Larry. Any comments or questions? None? So you need a motion, Amanda, right?
yes, please.
I have
Okay,
a motion to, go ahead.
I'll make a motion
Eric?
that we send a letter or agree to move on this producer date with recycle to 2025. So we let the province know.
Okay,
Second, I have somebody to second that. Amy, all in favor? Carried. Thank you. Next, Amanda.
so I created a to-do list or a motion status list. We'll have it in the unfinished business section of the agenda from now on. We can discuss it when we get there. It just kind of gives a chance for people to see where we are with the motions you've made and if we're getting things done, and we can kind of talk about them again. So that'll be in the unfinished business section. I received and I included a report that Justin Harrow presented to the County Planning and Development Committee. And I thought you guys might be interested in reading it. It's about the provincial policy statement and some changes that are happening in there. So if we could just receive that as information. Carrie. Amy?
Carrie and Amy, all in favor?
Okay, and then there was some completed complaint request forms. If anyone had any questions about those.
Any questions on that?
So if we could just accept them as presented.
A motion to accept that as presented. Gary, Randy, all in favor?
And that's it for my report. So just if we can accept my report.
Motion to accept Amanda's report. Amy, Randy, all in favor?
Amanda, were you adding something about?
Oh, sorry. Yes, Amy, I completely lost my mind here. So we have had a request. There's a property on Island Road that the owners are allowing their friends to stay in a trailer on their property. They've been told they're not allowed to stay in a trailer on Madoc Township, anywhere in Madoc Township to stay in a trailer. However, there are extenuating circumstances. These people, their house is full of mold and they're having it removed and cleaned, and their intention was to travel out west to where their family is. But then with all of this COVID stuff, they couldn't travel. So they're asking if they can have permission to stay in the trailer until their house is ready and has no more mold in it. My suggestion is if council allows it, we ask for a letter from the property owner stating that the trailer will be gone by September 1st, whether their house is ready or not. That's just my suggestion.
Yeah, Mr. Chair.
Yes,
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we allow them to stay there till the date that Amanda suggested.
second. Any more comments? Carrie? Comments, or is that second? All in favor? Carried.
Okay, thank you, Amy. That's it for me now.
Okay. Moving on to Treasurer Administrator Emery.
All right, April unaudited financial report. Everyone has it there. Is there any questions? Oh, I guess accept.
Questions on the financial statement?
Okay, accept my report on the unaudited, accept the financial statement as presented.
Amy? Randy, all in favor? Thank you. We seem to have quite a bit longer time delay tonight, so. Go ahead, Emery.
Okay, voucher listing in the amount of $397.13. I would like to make a comment on the Danford invoice. So how it works with Danford in regards to Queensboro Road is Danford sends it to Jewel Engineering. Jewel sends it to me, and then I pay. But for some reason, Jewel did not send me that invoice in December. I just received it recently. So of course we have to pay it. I have sent it to our contact for the funding, and we've been approved to have it funded as well. I just haven't received the funds yet.
Mr. Chair.
Larry, go ahead.
So we are gonna receive all money from the province?
90%, which is the agreement all the way
Pardon
through.
me? Yeah, okay, so what are we
90%?
on the hook for this? Okay,
Well, I don't, sorry, I don't have that
Again, I
number.
don't have my
There's
calculator.
9% that we're gonna get.
I don't have my calculator. What are we on the hook for this?
I can look it up if you just give me a minute, or would you like me to bring it back to the next meeting?
No, I'd like to discuss this because this is a problem, not a good one.
And I agree, Larry, but if Jewel doesn't send me an invoice because
Well,
they missed
Then I'd like
an
to
invoice.
discuss. Well, Mr. Chair, then that's what I'd like to discuss.
So what do you
So-
suggest, Larry?
Well, I suggest that we tell Jules, we're not very pleased about this. The council itself is very upset with the fact that we've done our budget and then we get sent. What if we didn't have the province backing this? We're out 50 grand. That's 1% to the taxpayers. Like, this is not, in my mind, if I have to send a letter myself, I'm going to send one. This is crazy. You don't send. I asked if that Queensborough Road was paid for in February. And we were told, yes, it's paid for. Don't worry about it. All the bills are looked at. We get a bill now for $50,000 outside of what we owe them is 50. If I'm correct, we still owe them $50,000
Yes,
that we're holding back. Is that correct?
yes.
Okay. So Jewel Engineering need a letter from our office that tells them that we are very dissatisfied with this service. And that possibly we should be looking elsewhere for this type of service. Because this is crap, folks. 50 grand.
So is that a motion?
That's a lot of money. I can't go on. I'm not going to go on, but I'm totally pissed at this. This is two weeks in a row that last week we got a bill for $30,000 that we didn't know anything about. This time, this meeting, we're getting a bill for $50,000 that we knew nothing about. I sure hope we don't get any more bills from last year that we got to pay this year that we don't have any money for. End of comment.
Comment, any more comments? Amy?
Well, I would tend to agree with Larry, like it's unfortunate that that's happened. But Anne Marie, you did say that 90% of it will be covered by the province. I do agree with Larry. I would second his motion that we do need to send Jewel a letter, like Queensborough Road was done. And that sending, like, I would like to know why we're getting late invoices. Like, is that unusual? Like, is that normal?
They just missed sending it. I cannot explain why they missed sending it.
I would like to ask them why they didn't send it in a timely manner after budget was set. Like,
believe me, I'm just as upset as
Oh, no.
council is when I received it. Probably more so than what everyone is. So I know that's all. It happened and I fixed it. We're getting funding. I have to move on.
and I do
It's
thank you for
unfortunate.
fixing it.
Yep.
Larry?
So I think a resolution to this problem then is let's invite Jewel Engineering to come to a council meeting to explain this to us. I think they owe us that much. You know, if you build a house,
Got a motion as well?
well, I'll let the other
Okay, we'll
motion
deal with the
stand
first
for now.
We'll deal with
I'll
the
let
other
the other
motion
motion
first.
stand for now, but I think it's only on them that they should come and explain to us why we'd be getting a bill for $50,000 6 months after the work's been done. I'm not sure. Maybe the rest of the council.
So to clarify,
ahead, Anne-Marie.
we're sending a letter to Jewel. So do I have? So is that from Larry? And do we have a second on that?
We did have, but is there any more discussion? Carrie, Randy, any comments? Randy? Randy? All in favor? Carrie, any comments? Are they froze up? Can you hear me, Carrie?
Yeah, I can hear you. Am I froze?
Yeah.
Okay.
You all in favor of that
I have
motion?
no comments. Yes.
You have no comment?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Pardon me? Okay, so you're not in favor of the motion?
Yes. Yes, I'm in favor of the motion. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Randy?
Yes, sir.
Did you have something to say, or are you in favor of the motion?
I'm in favor of the motion, sir.
Okay, carried. Thank you. Sorry, Carrie, I just couldn't,
It's not, no, I'm not done yet.
pardon me, you're not done yet? Okay.
No, was there any other questions on the voucher listing?
Mr.
If
Chair?
not, then I need,
No.
Go
Mr.
ahead.
Chair?
Go ahead.
So Fernie Davies, when are we done paying Mr. Davies?
May the 4th or 6th.
So this is his last payment?
Yes,
Okay. May I ask, Jewel Engineering Inc. They charged us $355 for a meeting. Was that the meeting over the road that we have the problem with?
yes.
Well, then my suggestion, I am never gonna pay those 8 cents. They're the cause of the problem. Why are we paying them to go to the meeting? I don't know.
That's a good point, Larry.
Somebody help me here, folks. What's that?
That's a good point. That's a very
Yeah,
good
like-
point.
So
Amy,
people
Can-
make a mess of things. And then we call them and tell them they made a mess. And then they got the nerve to charge us to go to the meeting and attend the meeting that they caused. People, let's get our act together over there. I'm getting tired of this.
Amy,
Can I? Yes, I did have that written down, Jewel Engineering of 355.95, and it said meeting Queensboro, and I assumed and was right that it was the meeting over the Queensboro Road. When it wasn't, like, we contracted the work out, it had nothing to do with the Madoc Township crew. I can't wrap my head around paying someone for a meeting that it was not Madoc Township's fault. So I'm not in favor of paying that voucher. And I would make a motion that we do not.
Carrie,
I'll second that motion.
any more discussion? All in favor of the motion? Go ahead, Carrie.
Do we have a contract in which outlines what our responsibilities are for paying them? Is this like a normal bill that we would get because we called them in? I'm just wanting to understand why we would get a bill before we say we're not paying the bill.
I myself have not seen a contract. That was all arranged before I was in this position. And to me, that's just a normal, I understand where council's point of view on this. I guess it's just a normal process for an engineering firm to do this. Any type of work they do, they bill.
Randy?
Yes, I am in agreement with not paying this bill. If it was them coming due to the fact of the road being, need to be looked at from somebody's air besides ours, then yes, I am in agreement with not paying it.
Okay, motion carried.
Any other questions on the financials? Vouchers?
Larry?
Yeah, I have a question about our bylaw payments here. So we're all done paying Gord too?
We are
I got
now,
it.
yes.
Okay, and well, simply because we paid 3 people to do bylaw work in May, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, well, I guess if we're done, we're done.
So accept the voucher listing, except for not paying Jewel Engineering.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
I have another question.
Yes.
I thought, who is Owen Prentice? Nuisance beaver person.
Owen Prentice. I can get that. Owen Prentice cleans out the culverts with the hydro pole.
Okay, that's
For
all I
pipe.
want to know. Thank you very kindly.
You're welcome. Motion to pay the accounts.
Randy,
Yeah. Randy, Gary, all in favor? Yeah, carried.
That, Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
that motion has to exclude that payment though, right?
Yes.
correct?
No, it will not include Jewel.
Okay, as long as that's in the motion though. The motion
Yes,
shouldn't
it is.
say pay the account. The
Yes,
motion
it is.
should say pay the account minus the 355.
Okay, my apologies.
Sorry, I'm a little upset tonight.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that it for you, Marie?
No, I need some, we've received approval for 2 summer employees. I would like 1 member of council to volunteer their time to help Mike and I do the hiring process. I would like to be able to do the interviews next week, have them start on the 15th. But then I'm asking that council trust the committee before the next meeting of June 17th to allow us to hire who we decide so we can get them started on the 15th. If not, I'll wait and bring it to council for June 17th, and we'll have them start June 22nd. So I would like a volunteer to help with the hiring process from council.
Any volunteers or any appoints?
What about
You need
Randy?
to- Randy, because he can't say no, because he's not.
How many did we have, Emery?
We had 11 applications come in.
11. Ooh,
Yeah.
Okay.
So are we
Amanda?
volunteering?
Amanda, can you phone Randy? And if he's on his phone, tell him to turn his iPad on and use his data, because Madoc Township's paying for the damn shit.
Yes, I will phone him.
In the meantime, was that a motion, Carrie? To appoint Randy? Amy seconded it. So we'll let him know when he comes back. He's got a job. You okay with that, Larry?
Yeah, I'd like to carry that a little further. I would like to say I'd like to make a friendly amendment, Gary, if I can. And the friendly amendment would say that, not setting precedent, I would think we should allow Anne Marie to do as she suggested and have the committee hire before that date. But I would like, not setting precedent, put in the motion.
So the motion's carried.
If it's,
If I could make a suggestion, if at all possible, I'd like to see our two lucky people be residents of Madoc Township, if possible.
I agree 100%.
So that was Carrie and Amy to have Randy on the hiring committee, and that council accepts the recommendation of the hiring committee, not citing a precedent, to allow us to go ahead before approving at the June 17th meeting, so we can get them started on June 15th.
That's correct.
Okay. Do you want me to continue without Randy?
Is he coming back, Amanda?
Yes, he's coming back. He's going to try it on his computer instead of his phone. He also said he heard that he was nominated to be on the hiring committee, and he's fine with it.
Carry on, Emery.
Okay, the first Wednesday in July is Canada Day, so I'm just asking for recommendation that council holds only one meeting in July, which would be July the 15th.
Comments?
I have no comment. That's fine with me.
Is that a motion?
Sure, I'll make an motion. We have one meeting in July 15th.
Second. Carrie, all in favor? Carried.
And just accept my report.
Amy? Carrie, all in favor?
Thank you.
Carrie's got the body movement now. Fire chief report, Mike, sorry, missed one. Mike, roads report.
All right, good evening, everybody. First thing on my report was something that we discussed at a prior meeting. So it's with Pigden Road, and we discussed to go to 7, the Highway 7, which was 0.5 of a kilometer. I just wanted, we never got a motion, so I just wanted a motion for me to go ahead and start the work on that. 0.5 of a kilometer from 7 to the end of the damage section.
Is there only 3 of us left now?
Oh, Larry's gone.
Were you able to hear what Mike was saying there, Larry?
Oh, he's muted.
About Picton's?
Yes.
I did think that Randy had some issues, and I would like to give Randy the opportunity to talk about his issue. I think it's only fair that he does. I'm not saying I'm gonna listen to him, but he should be able to talk to us.
I did have a question. How far is it from 7 all the way to Tannery? How many kilometers is it?
I believe it's just a little over 1.6 kilometers. I don't have the exact number here with me, but I can. It's just a little. It's about 1.5 kilometers, right? 1.6, somewhere around there.
Well, maybe I missed something. Are you talking about doing all of Pigden Road?
No, Amy asked me how long Pigden Road was in total,
Oh,
right? So I was just
sorry.
answering that question. Are we waiting for Randy? Are we?
Yeah, we'll give him 5. We'll give him a couple.
Okay.
We'll give him a couple minutes.
He has successfully signed in. He just isn't getting his mic or his video going yet.
Randy is here though there you go. Yes.
Okay, Randy, could
So
you
where
hear
are we
us?
now?
Okay, we're on the roads report and.
Yes, well, I could hear. Yes,
We're on the road. Yeah, Randy, we're on the roads report and we were talking about, Mike had brought up Pigden Road. And Larry thought maybe you had some comments or something you'd like to say.
Yes, I took a drive to Pigden Road and to Berry Road. I do see the damage that was done on Pigden Road. I don't deem it's serious enough to just do a 0.5 kilometer road right now. And because if you actually take a drive, if I sent the email to everybody to do the same thing, I don't know how many actually went there, but what I see is Pigden Road is Berry Road is far worse condition for the money that needs to get put into it to keep putting coal patch. I would rather see the money get put into Berry Road. I know that I would love to see Pigden Road get done, but I want to see Pigden Road get totally done, not just a 0.5 kilometer road.
Any other comments?
So, Mr. Chair?
Yes, sir.
So what are you suggesting, Randy? We just fix what the insurance problem is and spend all the rest of the money in Berry Road?
Well, I don't know whether I want to go and fix Berry or Pigden Road until the insurance agrees to pay the bill. It's not unbearable or unpassable. I'd rather put the money into Berry. It would go a lot farther in the condition that Berry Road is. The Pigden Road is rough, but it's not as Mike was saying about the amount of money we're putting into coal patching. I'd rather not put that kind of dollars, because if we fix Pigden, we're still going to be putting thousands of dollars into coal patching on Berry.
Yeah.
Amy?
So, Mr. Chair.
But if, can I speak?
Amy, go ahead.
But if we do not fix Pigden Road, then we will be putting cold patch into Pigden Road. So we've gone through a budget process And I really feel like this was unfortunate that this happened on Pigden Road, because Berry Road is definitely on the list to do. And as our working road supervisor knows this and how important it is, Pigden Road is damaged. Pigden Road was in better shape than it is currently now. So we need to follow the process, I believe, go through insurance, get the money eventually from insurance, and fix it.
Larry?
So what I'm hearing is that Randy doesn't want to spend do the work and not get the money from the insurance first. And Amy is suggesting we just go ahead and fix the road and put the bill into the insurance company. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, I believe so.
Well, I guess we have to decide what we want to do then, like, you know, like, so my question, I would have a question for Anne Marie. Will the insurance pay us before we fix the road or after?
I don't even know if we'll get paid yet. There's no guarantee.
Oh, well, if we're not
Have
gonna
you-
get a guarantee we're gonna get paid, then that changes the whole thing for me.
Mr. Chair,
Have we talked to them?
Talk to to who?
Insurance?
It's with our lawyer right now.
Amy, do you have something else you want to say?
Yep. I would like to know what the working road supervisor thinks on this. He's staff and I take his opinion.
Michael?
Yeah, I agree. I don't know, Pigden Road was in much better shape. I mean, if we don't fix it, it's gonna fall apart. My thoughts are a half a kilometer is a half a kilometer, and that's what we have left over, right? Berry Road, we're gonna get a half a kilometer out of it. And that's, you know, if we have to, you know, if we don't get surprises with certain areas of Berry Road, right? We know what we have with Pigden. I don't, I'd like to see Pigden fixed, but at the end of the day, it's your decision, right? I think, you know, no matter what, it has to be fixed if we get paid or don't get paid, right? It would be nice to see it done. So that's the end of my opinion, right? I'm not really sure what you know, I've had a chance to look at Berry Road very, you know, not extensively, not, you know, in real depth. So I don't know, you know, if I have to inspect a few culverts, you know, if we're doing a half a kilometer, where are we doing it on the road? And, you know, is there culverts that need to be changed, right? We could get into a larger expense, right? I would like to see Berry Road when we had a little bit more funds, I guess, you know, just so we could do it properly, right? I don't really want to put a Band-Aid over anything.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah.
Harry? Comments?
Who, me? Oh,
No,
I don't know, guys. I'm so
Terry.
confused. I'm basically so confused. I don't know whether we should fix any of them.
Carrie? Okay.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, I think we
I'm-
should go ahead and fix the road. Can you hear me? Yes, I think we need to fix the road. It's damaged, and then we need to deal with insurance as is the normal process. I think we need to fix the road. Yes.
Thank you. Could I have a motion to that effect? I totally agree. We had a game plan. Let's follow it. Berry Road is gonna need a whole lot more money that we haven't budgeted for. And, yeah.
I'll make a motion that we go ahead and do Pigden Road and do the 0.5
All right,
kilometers.
do I have a seconder? Carrie, any more discussion? Randy?
I am not I'm not in favor, but whatever council is in agreement with, I will go with. We did through budget process say that the money was going to bury until the road got damaged on Pigden, but it's council's decision.
Okay. I don't know about some of you people, but I get up every Saturday morning and I tour a lot of roads in Madoc Township on a Saturday morning. It's prudent that we have a pretty good idea of what we're dealing with before something arises, and it's unfortunate. I was going to have another road tour this spring, but with this COVID stuff, we were unable to, but yeah. I recommend to all of you is if you get a chance, you take a drive through our wild, the authentic Madoc Township, closer to budget time. So, all in favor of that motion? Okay, Amy, Randy, and Larry. Motion carried. Thank you.
Randy was a no, sir.
I know.
Okay, well, so I was asked in the next previous meeting about MTO access guidelines. I gave with the package, I gave the 3 areas that I think that we were most interested in. I don't think that we should adopt all of the guidelines from the MTO. They're pretty. I think it'll limit us. I think it's something that we need to discuss as a whole, I guess, and you know, decide on visibilities and distances and stuff, right? And I mean the multiple shared access for multiple lots, right? But I don't know if we want to, if at a different time or whatever we want to discuss that, or if you wanted to discuss now. Any comments? Or?
I think, Mike, if you go through that and go through that and pick the best option and adjust it accordingly to whatever suits Madoc Township.
Okay.
No, we do not want to restrict building or anything else or houses or anything else like that. So instead of taking a lot of time up on it tonight, I would just suggest you go away and you come up with the best option for Madoc Township.
Okay. Yep.
If everybody's okay with that.
Sir,
Go ahead.
I have a couple comments that I had prepared to discuss, and I sent them to Amanda in case I was in and out, that she could have dealt with it. But page 46, table 9 says, at a minimum, private access connections on the same side of the highway should be separated by at least 30 meters. That's what they're saying there. But from what I have read in the MTO guidelines, our existing entrance/driveway bylaw meets MTO specs. I'm not going to ask anyone severing off one lot to accrue extra cost through surveying or lawyer for an easement or right of way, because we cannot assume that someone else is severing off one lot, that someone that's severing off one lot is going to sever off a second lot. And on that note, I'd be willing to make a motion to amend our entrance/driveway bylaw to include that on severing 2 lots at one time, a shared driveway must be established and leaving a single severance with the standards that we have.
Amanda?
So first, sorry, can I just say there are a lot of people that are not on mute right now, so we're getting a lot of feedback here. So hopefully you can hear me. I reached out to Emily Galloway in planning, asking about the shared driveways, and she said that there are a few conditions that they would require in addition to an agreement between the landowners for the shared maintenance of the entrances. So she said they would need an easement providing access to both lots. Over both pieces of lots, that's all she's saying. So proof to be lodged with us that 911 addresses have been granted for each of the retained and severed lots so that emergency vehicles could get to them. And that the applicants would enter into a right-of-way development agreement with the Township of Madoc to the effect that the township is not now nor ever shall be responsible for assuming the upgrade or ownership of the right-of-way. I do have this in an email, so I've kind of put it in a nutshell there. I can send it to you guys so you can look over it a little better too.
Larry,
I would suggest that this is gonna be a hot topic, folks. I would suggest that, Mr. Chair, only a suggestion. We have a meeting about this, at least spend some time on this. Everybody gather their thoughts on what we should do before we get too hasty about doing anything. We have 3 or 4 roads in this municipality that are not roads that you should have 10 entrances within a half a mile. And if there's ways that we can make our roads safer by having shared entrances, then that's what I believe we should do. I'm not sure the legalities of all this, so I would only suggest that we take our time, and if we have to, we'll have a meeting that talks about this before we do it.
any more comment?
Yes, sir. The MTO bylaw, the guidelines say that a local entrance can have 8 per 1,000 meters. And I have a motion on the table, sir.
I know. Anyway,
I will honestly say that I do not have enough information to make an informed decision tonight. I would like more information.
Randy has a motion on the table. Do we have a second for that motion? No, sorry, motion denied. So what are we doing? Are we gonna have Mike go away and work with somebody and come up with the best possible scenario, then present it back to us?
Yep.
I'd like to make a motion that we get the working road supervisor to go through the MTO access guidelines and see what he thinks would suit our township best.
Second to that motion. Larry, all in favor?
Can I ask a quick question?
You just nod your head. Yes.
So Emily Galloway in planning, she's doing up a report for the forestal consent right now. And she is wondering what we should say in that report because we did have a condition that it would be a shared entrance. I can ask her to hold off on it or make it a condition and we can remove it later. I just don't want to get us stuck somewhere.
Mr. Chair?
That would be on the forestal consent, right?
Yes.
Mr. Chair,
Yes. Yes, sir.
I am okay with the Forsto property. It's, as I stated in my motion, that it is a dual severance. And that was one of the conditions that I was putting forward, that we do one driveway per 2 severances. I'm in favor with carrying on with that one.
But if I understand this right, we need something in place in order to make that happen before that severance goes through fully, right, Amanda?
Yeah, so, I mean, we can leave it as a condition that they have a shared entrance. And if that's what council decides they want, we'll just go ahead with it. If that's not what council decides, we can remove that condition later.
Mary,
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I understand what we're doing here, and I understand what Randy is saying. However, we have a situation that is developing where someone could possibly come to us for up to 10 lots within half a mile. And they're only going to survey off one lot at a time. They'll be beside each other, and there's no reason they couldn't be shared severances. So I guess maybe what we could do is we could turn down the severance if we see that they don't want to use a shared entrance. Is that right? Could you help me with that, Mr. Chair? So I guess they survey the first lot.
well, like yeah, maybe I can, Larry. They keep, so to speak, they keep changing the official plan to streamline our severance process. But they keep detouring the 1+1 over 20 years. That is yet to ever change. So if that, I know the gentleman you're talking about, if he wants 20 lots or 10 lots over the next year or so, it's not going to happen under the current official plan with the 1+1 over 20. Carrie.
No
You
disrespect.
got your hand up, Carrie.
Okay, can you hear me? No disrespect, but I thought we were not going to get bogged down by all the details tonight. Amy made the motion that we would have the road super come back with a thing.
Yeah.
So I don't think we need to get bogged down with this discussion. I think we need to deal with the motion that was suggested by Amanda, that we deal with this particular consent, which I would agree that we should go ahead with it with the condition that we could change it after if we get a clear plan from our road super.
Sure.
Thank you.
Right.
Amy
I
had a
agree.
motion on the table. Do I have a second?
Yeah,
Do I have a
I
second to
seconded
Amy's
it,
motion?
Mr. Chair.
Thank you. All in favor? Carried. We're having a little trouble right now, so. Mike,
Yeah,
what's
everything's
next?
time delayed is weird.
I just had else on there was calcium is being applied to the roads.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Amy.
I just wanted to pass on a message that I got actually today. It said, please pass on my thanks for the Spring Road work. Our section of Woods Road and Olive Riggs is greatly improved with the recent grading and calcium chloride treatment, especially the treatment being continual. Thank you. That was from a taxpayer. So if you could pass that on, Mike, to the roads crew.
Yep, will do.
And Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
I have the same from my, probably not, hopefully it's not the same person, on a taxpayer on Woods Road, to want to send thanks to the roads crew for the excellent job they've done in that district. And so, yes, thank you, Amy, for reminding me of that.
Perfect. Thank you. The other was just a tentative work plan for the summer. Things kind of got jostled around, so I don't have everything in place because I'm just moving things up, right? I can tell you calcium, I can give you the dates that the loads will be here if you want them. The 10th and the 11th of next week, the 16th and the 17th and the 18th should almost finish our calcium. Greenwood stepped up and called me yesterday. Their pulverizer is in the area, so tomorrow we're gonna do the section of Lee, Atkinson, and Higdon. So they got moved to tomorrow. And then tomorrow in the morning, we're doing a driveway or a culvert on Queensboro Road and some light ditching. And then the week of the 22nd of June, we're going to do our bit of ditching that we need to do and drainage issues on O'Hara. With the trucking of the gravel, I'm just waiting for Daryl Drain to get back to me with an exact time. They have he said that they're going to be another couple weeks with their live bottoms before they can get to us. Just trying to fit everybody in sooner, right? So I'm looking at, I'm hoping talking to Kent or and them hardtop in O'Hara in probably first to mid of July, and then Bannockburn will be finished up with that, right? So O'Hara and Pigden will be fixed in the first week of around July, right?
What about public school?
And it was, sorry, I forgot about it. It'll be done at the same time, right? The top will be put on it at the same time. They're going to do it all at once.
Okay.
I never heard Barker, but
Oh, the hard top on Barker. 2025.
I'll settle for
Or the
calcium.
poor side of Island Road, Lloyd.
Yeah. But
Yeah, you got
that's
anything
everything
else?
I
What
have.
about the tenders, Mike?
They close
What about
for the shouldering. It closes Monday. And
so them, okay.
yeah, it closes Monday. I also put out, just talking tenders, I also put the sand tender out, so it's out and we know we can have that dealt with. It goes out tomorrow for the winter sand, right? So we have it out and we know where we're standing.
Okay, would anybody be interested in being here on Monday when that tender closes so we can move on with business?
What time, Lloyd?
What time you gonna open the tenders, Mike?
I believe it's I think it's 3. I believe it closes. I don't have the tender package right in front of me, right?
Amanda?
Sorry, we have a fire committee meeting in the morning on Monday, so just keep that in mind.
Anne Marie?
The tenders need to be submitted by noon on. Actually, Mike, it's tomorrow,
Oh, is it tomorrow? Oh,
Thursday,
yes,
June
it is.
4th.
That's right.
Can we open them, Mr. Chair?
Go ahead.
So we have a fire committee meeting on Monday. Can we open them at about 11:30 when I'm there and Amy's there?
Yep,
That work?
yep.
Sorry,
Yeah,
well, the
just-
tenders are tomorrow. Do you want to wait and open them Monday?
Yeah.
Well, so
I
we'll
don't
wait
care.
over the, it doesn't matter. They're in tomorrow. Tomorrow's
How many do we need to open them? I can be there tomorrow.
I don't care.
Well, there's no decision going to be made anyway, because it's going to have to come back. Unfortunately, it's going to have to come back to council. Because if they're a ridiculous tender and over our budgeted number, it's going to have to come back to council anyway. So, but I'd like to have that all wrapped up and have the numbers and stuff ready for next council meeting. That way, if Mike still ends up doing that job, he can plan on it.
When do you want to open the tenders, Mike?
It honestly, tomorrow or Monday's fine with me. I see Anne Marie had her hand up. I don't know if she said. Doesn't matter to me, as long as we get it dealt with before, and I can get it into the next council meeting, right? So at the end, I have to have my report. Do we have a meeting by next Wednesday? Yes, by next Wednesday.
Randy?
So can Anne Marie, Mike and I open them tomorrow afternoon? If Anne Marie's available?
Yes.
I don't care.
Could you send that information to the rest of council, please? By way of email? Thank you. Anything else, Mike?
Nope, that's my report. I just like council to accept my report. And we'll just keep working hard. Thank you for the great comments. We're trying.
Okay, just before we accept Mike's report, I had some additions to the agenda, and one was Woods Road South. I've managed over the course of the last 3 months to get a pretty good census and of where the people want to go on closing the road with the option of picking a new name and changing all their civic address or all their addresses and all that good stuff. The majority, or the large majority that I've talked to, wishes for us to move ahead on the road closure, and they will change whatever they need to change. So in saying that, I believe if council still wishes to do that, we probably would send out something for the possible residents, if they wish to submit something on a road name and move forward. Amanda?
Yeah, sure. We can do that. Just to give you an update, we have had it surveyed by P.A. Miller already. And he has given me a list of, not really conditions, but a list of things that we need to look into. We need an opinion from 2 lawyers as to whether that water is navigable or not. That's the big thing that I'm gonna contact our lawyer about next. And yeah, they can send in whatever name they want, and we can choose one.
Any other comments? So I guess I would ask for a motion to move forward with the process of closing the Woods Road Bridge and give the residents an opportunity to choose a new name.
Randy,
Yeah,
make a motion, sir.
thank you. Second. Carrie? All in favor? Carried. That thing works pretty good on our dollar, Randy.
It's
Motion
plugged
to
in
accept
directly
Mike's
to the-
report. Motion to accept Mike's report, please. Larry. Amy, all in
Randy.
favor? Thank you. Carried. Okay, moving on to fire. Jason.
Okay, so yeah, as everybody can see there, the report that I submitted with a couple spelling mistakes that I see here now that I'm reading it over again. Anyways, nothing, I guess I shouldn't say nothing too drastic. It was definitely fulfilling month there with some incidences there with fire truck and unit 2 springing a leak there on a call, but as of now, that truck is back in service and fixed for temporary anyways. So we put a new flange on it, so hopefully that'll solve some of the problems we were having. Is there any questions or anything with the report?
Which truck is unit 1?
You don't want to know. The latest new one.
You're right.
Yes. So unfortunately, yes, that was involved in after a call, returning to station, firefighter, rather not about names at this point, but anyways, returned to station and backed up without, I guess, looking in his mirrors because he backed right into the red posts, the guards for the door, and actually scraped right down the side of the entrance of the doorway as well, which caused most of the damage to the truck while being reversing with no guide person. Again, it was returning at station. It was probably 10:30 going to 11 o'clock at night. I just reiterated with everybody there that it's a must. If you return to station by yourself, then get on the radio or get out and call someone, and we'll make sure. I know the last few calls myself, I've actually returned to station myself just to be sure that things are being put in proper. So.
Okay, thank you, Jason. Anybody have any questions for Jason pertaining to fire? Jason, I'm gonna ask you for a proper terminology for a letter that I would like council to make a motion on sending off to the minister, Steve Clark, pertaining to our fire hall acts, asking for the exemption on a, help me out with the wording, is it a post-disaster construction, or what's the wording on that?
Yeah, we, for fire, police, fire, and EMS, we have to meet post-disaster building, I guess. So yeah, that I can get the proper terminology from the building official there. But I also, I'm not sure if Anne Marie made contact with the lady in Loyalist Township there, but if not, I can make a phone call to get a copy of that letter as well.
Okay, because I'd like to ask council for a motion to get that letter drafted up, sent off to the ministry, asking for an exemption on the post-disaster construction. Larry?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, we're having a fire committee meeting on Monday, and Amanda has all that on her agenda. I'm not sure you want to go ahead and do some of those things tonight because we will have a full group there for a discussion on this on Monday. But that's up to you. If you want a motion, that's fine by me. It's just that we're going to go through all this on Monday and talk to people about how we move forward. There's probably more than this letter that needs to be sent out very shortly, I would think. And we'd already talked about that, but if I would think that we will have an opportunity on Monday to brainstorm what we want. And that's why I would suggest it till Monday, because the group over there that looks after that, and they possibly might, and by that time, Jason will maybe have some information for us on what we need to say. But I'll.
Okay. No, that's fine. That's fine. If your meeting as early as Monday, I just,
Well,
I don't mean to be, don't mean to be pushy, but I want to
no.
see some wheels turn. I want to see some wheels turning here, so.
yeah, no disrespect. I fully understand your concerns. And that's why we're meeting as soon as we are. We're meeting on Monday because Amanda, we've talked about this, and we don't want to drop the ball on this. We need to get onto this and talk about a lot of things. And this is one of them.
Okay, thank you. I have a motion to accept Jason's
Chair?
report, please. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chair, do you still want a motion to that effect that after they're done their meeting that they go ahead and draft up a letter? Or do you want to wait until our next meeting to discuss it?
Let's see what they come up with.
Okay, and we'll make a motion to accept the report.
Thank you. Second. Carry. All in favor? Carried. Motion to accept the bylaw. Oh, by the way, thanks, Jason. Larry, bylaw enforcement, second. Amy, all in favor?
I did have a comment.
Sure.
I know that there were some follow-up items from the previous bylaw officer report that maybe needed to be brought to the commissioner's attention, but I don't know if Fire Chief Gear took care of it while he was the bylaw officer. So there were 3 things. There were birds in El Dorado. They were supposed to be removed by May 31st. I don't know if that got done. There's still the phone booth on Madoc Township property that I guess council needs to make a decision on what's going on there. And then there was also follow-up required to satisfy the complainant on Morrison Road allowance. I believe there was brush on that report, it said, and also a trailer in question if it had been removed. So I know Jason's really busy with the fire stuff too, but I know you were the bylaw officer for a short period of time. So I didn't know if Jason took care of that.
So, yeah, no, unfortunately, Amy, I was not involved with any of those incidences. More on the Cedar School Road, McCann Crescent, them tasks were taken. But that's it for myself.
So I'd like to make a motion that the commissioners are aware of those problems that they needed to be followed up on, or however you want to say that. Or Amanda, if you know if they've been followed up on.
So we did mention them to Kevin already. The Morrison Road one, he was having trouble because he doesn't have a truck. He only has a car, so he can't really get down in there, but they're supposed to be getting him a truck. So it's on his list. He did go to El Dorado, but there was no one home at the time for the birds. And I'm not sure that he's looked into the phone booth at all. But
Amy had a motion on the table anyway to have them follow up on. Do we have a second? Carrie, all in favor? Anything else? Motion to accept bylaw report. Amy, Carrie, all in favor? Carried. Reports of advisory committees of council, none. Reports of statutory committees of boards and external agencies. council received the following reports. HPED, SB, BISB. Motion to accept those reports, please. Carrie, Randy, all in favor? Thank you. Correspondence. Motion to receive and file all remaining correspondence unless there's something you want to discuss.
I'll make a motion that we accept and receive all correspondence.
Thank you. Second, please. Amy, all in favor? Carried. Unfinished business. No unfinished business. Bylaws,
So-
none.
Sorry, for the unfinished business, this is where I've included the motion status report. If anyone had any questions about what's been done or ongoing.
Any questions pertaining to that matter? Larry,
No,
go ahead, Gary.
I just wanted to say I think this is really great. I like this a lot. Like I like the format. It's great. It's simple. I think it's good. I think it's really good, guys.
yep.
Very good. Anything else? Confirmatory bylaw, Amanda?
Okay, so a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the Council of the Township of Madoc meeting held on June 3rd, 2020.
Yeah.
Read a first, a second, and a third time. 1, 2, 3 for everybody. Carried. Okay, we had closed this meeting and went to closed, Amanda, right?
Yep, so we'll just get a motion to adjourn this one.
Motion to adjourn. Yeah, Larry, Carrie, all in favor? Okay. I have a motion to
so
go
we're
into
just
closed
gonna-
session.
We're just gonna turn off YouTube and get in touch with Lynn so he can join us.